Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and it is Thursday, February 3rd, 2011. We're looking at the weekly chart here and trying to decipher what is happening and when this market is actually going to fall off a cliff. It's not the easiest thing in the world to pick, especially when the gangsters constantly manipulate it against the grain, which is a very, very frustrating thing for us traders. So we try to look at the charts and see where it's going to go and where it should go, but it doesn't always go there. But we're going to try to look at them anyway. Again, you can clearly see here on the weekly that the weekly still is pointing up, but it is putting smaller and smaller histogram towers in. Problem is that you just can't wait till it crosses zero to think that that's when the down move is going to happen. It may or may not actually happen like that. You just don't know. We look back here at this time period and we see how it went down, down, down. And I know back in that time period, I was expecting it to fall off a cliff back then. And they just kept on chopping sideways, chopping blah, 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 light volume, doing nothing, and they finally tanked it. So how did you know? This week you went short, this week you went short, this week you went short, and the market just kept on right on going up, 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 up. It's enough to drive you nuts. I mean, you looked at it right here and you go up, and that was this time period right here. Well, you see that right there. If you'd have went short right there or jumped on the bandwagon short right there, you'd have just been raped. And probably I was. I don't remember that far back. October, yeah, so that was here when you were thinking it was going to really crash into November, December. It didn't. And so it just kept on going. So, it's the same situation here now with where we're at right now. We're here, and we don't know where it's going to roll over or not. If it's going to do that this week or if it's going to do it next week. I don't know. That's a really good question. But let's try to figure out at least what we can see for tomorrow. And based upon this chart right here, this pattern right here is looking similar to other patterns that we've had in the past. And where's it looking similar to? Unfortunately, this April period right here. And you look there and you see a down day like we had yesterday, just like that. Then you see this long candle down, totally reversed and closed positive into the day, exactly like we did today. That leads to an up move tomorrow. That's what happened there in April, and then a sell-off after that, at least 2 days. So, that would be Monday and Tuesday if this candle right here is tomorrow. But generally speaking, the non-farm payroll days, they generally, if they gap up, they will fall back down. If they go down in the morning, then they will float higher into the close. That's just statistically what they do. So from looking at the charts, it looks like a gap up is more likely when we look at the 60-minute and 30-minute charts, which if we gapped up, then we should close lower, putting in a topping tail right here, not a solid white candle for tomorrow. So that's where this pattern could be different. Will it be? I don't know. So if we gap down and then we float higher all day, then we could close up on the market tomorrow. And that's just the statistics for the non-farm payroll day. So let's look at the 60-minute chart here. As you can see, this was similar to what I said on the video yesterday, that I did not know how far that they would take it down, that it could really bury deep, or it could just go down here and put in a lower histogram tower, putting in a positive divergence. And that's exactly what they did. They took it down, put in a positive divergence, and as you can clearly see now, they went down and they recycled it back up. So it is pointing up tomorrow. It is still up here in overbought territory, and it could very easily curl back down and just start to tank if they release some really horrible data tomorrow. But I just don't think that that's likely. For now, it is pointing up, and it's pointing up here on the full stochastics as well, pointing up here, putting in positive divergence. The charts say we pop in the morning, and we should go up here, put in a smaller tower to put in a negative divergence for the next day, which would be Monday. So that's what it's saying here on the 60 when you look at this. So where could we pop up to? Well, considering this move, if we pop a similar move, we could very easily go to that 13 very easily, probably even higher than that. Probably, we're 1308 or something now. We could pop up to 1315 even. That could happen as well. Looking at the other chart here, which is the 30-minute chart, it's the same kind of scenario here. We have the 30-minute chart doing the same thing. It went down most of the day and curled back up, and it's about the 0 level. So it could curl back over and just head and tank if the numbers were really bad. I just don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to come up here. They'll go ahead and since it's curling up, they'll go ahead and curl it up. Then it'll roll over, putting in again a smaller histogram tower in the positive section, depending upon how high they gap it up. But you can see it's getting up here above the 80 again on the full stochastics. So it'll probably trade sideways while it's doing that before it finally rolls over. So if it does gap up, it should be faded, as it should float back down throughout the rest of the day. Doesn't mean it's going to crash tomorrow, but if it gaps up, it should fall back down and put in a topping tail. And whether it closes negative or not, I don't know. But it should do. With that light volume that they've got right now in the market because of the snowstorms up north and the traders that are gone, that's really hurting the bears' chance of getting any kind of selling pressure at all. So, so if they gap it up here, I would think it would be an exhaustion gap, I would hope. And it would be the stop clearing blow off top that I've been looking for the last 2 days and still have not been able to get that call right. It just hasn't happened. I was looking for it yesterday and today. It didn't happen, so maybe it'll happen tomorrow. All the charts are lined up for it to happen tomorrow. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, then I would be shocked, because the 30 is reset pointing back up now. The 60 is reset pointing back up. The 15 is the only one that's it's not down at the bottom and resetting back up, but it can easily go much higher, and you have to base that off of this full stochastics. You can see the full stochastics went down here, and they're now curling back up, and they're at the 0 line pointing up. So it can easily go back up here and put in some type of negative divergence and put in a smaller top up here as it rolls over. And this would coincide with the 30 and the 16-minute, or the 30 and the 60-minute chart getting overbought at the same time. So I'm expecting this to kind of go up and roll over. Same thing here, go up more and then finally roll over. So that would put them all in sync together, and they would roll over until the close, and we should get some selling. Again, with light volume, I don't know how much selling you're going to get, but statistically, if it gaps up in the morning, you fade it and you sell it and let it go wherever it's going to go. I don't know where it's going to go. If it closes, who knows? Maybe if it just really starts taking off and breaks a few key levels, maybe we'll get lucky and maybe it'll crash tomorrow. I don't know. I doubt it. But either way, they got to clear these stops. They tricked the bears this morning, thinking it was going to go lower, and they did, and they reversed it, as you can see. Then did all this garbage bull flag. Remember, bull flags work, bear flags don't. So it's just the way the game is played. Heads you win, or I'm sorry, heads they win, tails you lose. Okay, so keep that in mind, folks. So they did this chop, 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 chop until they finally burst out above it. And you'll notice that the bear flags and bull flags, you'll notice that all it really has to do with is how long it takes. It trades sideways until the charts reset. So in this case, it wasn't on this one that needed to reset. This one was already up in positive territory. It was on the 30 and the 60. Basically, the 30 was working its way up until it finally popped into the close. So it was just trading sideways during this time period, and then finally, somewhere around from here to here, and it popped over zero. That was the time that it popped up above. Oops, let me answer that. Okay, where was I? I took that quick phone call, and well, it was quick for you guys because I just continued on talking, I guess. But for me, it was a 5-minute conversation. So anyway, what I was looking at here was basically bull flags, bear flags. I was just explaining to you that they just go up, trade sideways. And the sideways period that they're trading is just based upon the time it takes for the chart to work itself off from overbought or oversold conditions and curl back up. And that's exactly what it did right there in that last few bars on this 30-minute chart. And the same thing here on the 60-minute chart. As you can see, it finally curled back up and is pointing up for tomorrow. This is curling up, pointing up for tomorrow. Now, there's no guarantees on this. Do understand that it's already up here at 2.5 range here on overbought. So there's no guarantee that it doesn't curl and run right back down. If those numbers are horrible, then you know, this thing will curl down and it'll gap down. I don't think that's likely, though. I really don't. I think the odds favor the bulls because Madden Man Ben Bernanke is at the helm, and he is out to kill all the bulls. I mean the bears, and he's doing a great job of it. So you know, you can expect him to pump this market higher, maybe 13.13, maybe 13.15. I'm just guessing at those numbers. Really, it's just going to be based more upon the time of the day. I think it's going to happen, and it should happen very early within the first 30 minutes. If it gaps up really high, it should find a peak, and within the first 30 minutes, first hour tops, and then start to roll over and fade back down throughout the rest of the day. And depending upon how high this bar goes, it should roll over and because it'll put in a negative divergence, and so it should fall into the close. But again, I don't know how far it's going to go into the close. I just don't know whether it's going to break key resistance or support right here. I doubt it, but you know, it's possible that we could have a down day tomorrow. It's possible. Woohoo! Get excited, bears. Yeah, there's a possibility that we could have a day that looks like this one maybe. There's a perfect example of it. You gap up, you see how that big long tail is there? After trading sideways all this time, then you fall back into the close. And then that leaves this to follow. And that's kind of what I'm looking for next week. I'm looking for a down week next week. I was looking for one this week, but I guess they're going to chop it sideways some more. Getting back to that weekly chart again, this market really hasn't had more than three. There's 3 down weeks. There's 3 down weeks. There's 2 down weeks. Jeez, here's about the only real sell-off we had. Here's 4 down, or 1, 2, 3, 4 down weeks. 2 down weeks. I tell you, this whole garbage manipulated, funny money pumped in the market P2 rally has just absolutely destroyed America. It would just been so much better just to let the market find a real bottom and rebuild itself. But the gangsters are out to steal your money, so they're going to manipulate you and just sucker every last bull on board this train, and then they're just going to take it into Hitler's camp and gas them all while they're on the train. And that's what the plan is, folks. That is the plan. Of course, in the meantime, they're shooting bears with their well, they don't even use shotguns. They use bazookas to blow us up, so they're very good at that. So anyway, you just gotta hang out there, folks. That's all I can say. So you just gotta keep shorting it. Eventually, you're gonna be right. You might be broke first, but eventually you're gonna be right. You're gonna be rewarded. Start to get out whenever you get a loss and reshort, I guess. It seems to be the only way to play this market. So again, just to recap, I am looking for a gap up and then a fade the rest of the day. I don't know how far it will go down. Don't know. If some momentum gets going, then maybe we'll go down here and hit this support line into the close. That'd be awesome. Do I think that's going to happen? I doubt it. But we shall see. And as for Monday, well, we'll have to see what closes tomorrow to really figure out Monday. So, but if we do have a down day tomorrow, very possibly Monday could be a nice, pretty red day. But we'll take that one step at a time. Good luck, everyone.